Right. Now, I'm going to plot this example here of the Golden Triangle, because this is a classic example. Here is the Golden Triangle. So this is Thailand, this is Myanmar, right? That's Laos there, this is mainland China at the top. Now, if we actually go and have a look at that area, this is a good example of what we want to be talking about. So if I just switch everything on so you can see it. Okay? And we look, there is the actual border. So the Mekong River is there. This was my holiday shot for a couple of weeks ago. So this is the Mekong River. This side, I'm actually in Thailand. Then we went across. That building there is in fact in Burma, and that building there is in Laos. It takes you about 5 minutes to get across. So you get 3 countries in 5 minutes if you want to. But the difference is huge, one side to the other. Right? Absolutely massive. This side is a democracy. That side's got a military dictatorship. That side's got a communist government. Right? Laos is one of the least developed countries on the entire planet. It had more bombs dropped on it during the Vietnam War than was dropped in the whole of Europe during all of World War II. So you think about that. Okay, now, if I live here, rich modern country, or I live in Laos, what could be different? Why is it going to make a difference to me? Safety, absolutely. Safety is going to make a difference. Yeah, you want to be more specific?
No. Just more.
Right, let's go to statistics, because statistics are always good. And if we compare, what would be useful here to compare? Education. So if we compare, let's find out the difference where it would be. So let's start with primary schools, or primary school teachers. That's probably an easier idea. Primary school students per teacher. And we compare those countries. This gives you a classic idea. So there's Australia. There's 18 children typically per teacher, right? If you live in Myanmar, you're looking at 29. In Laos, you're looking at 28. And in Thailand, you're looking at roughly the same with us, 18. That's a huge difference for crossing a river. Right? What else would be significant? More significant than that, perhaps. Sorry?
Economy.
Okay, let's go to the economy. And let's look at the amount of money per head of population. It starts to get pretty staggering, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You live in Laos, you're living on $186 per year as an average income. You cross the river to Myanmar, it's up to almost 400. You cross it the other 5 minutes into Thailand, you're looking over 1,000. You migrate to Australia, of course, it's a huge difference. Okay, so we've got income levels, we've got education. What else have we got?
Health.
Okay, let's check health. Health is always a good one. And from there, what statistics will we use to prove this?
Mortality rate.
Infant mortality rate. Bang. Okay, what we're saying here is, in Australia, 7 babies per 1,000 die before they're 1 year old. If you live in Laos, that's 104 babies per 1,000. Right? It's huge. And Thailand much more modern than Myanmar. This is a critical point. Borders are not just artificial things, it affects every aspect of your life. Every aspect of your life gets affected. So that's health, that's the economy, also what language you actually speak gets affected by it. All right? Now, back to Libby's point, which was how do they actually make up borders? So we go to this one, which again we've got the Golden Triangle, and I'll get rid of my picture because it's in the way. Right, so there's the border. How is it determined? How come we've got a beautiful straight line there, a line down the middle of a river there, and a squiggle here? What do you reckon's going on there? How have they determined the border? Look, do you want to go out the front and have more of a detail look and see if you can work it out? Go and show us.
Is that mountain ranges on the left?
They're not so much, they're not actually mountain ranges so much, but they are certainly hills. So there's a mountain range there, yeah.
And then that's the base of the mountain.
Go out the point,
So.
be easier.
What is that, the base of the mountain? Like the, yeah. And then that's the hills range that are just following.
So what you're saying here, are you saying that line there is following the hills?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
Well, I'm
yeah.
seeing hill peaks here, and I'm seeing a flat river valley there. I'm not seeing how that bit there is connected to a hill, for example.
Where, no idea then.
Anyone? Stephen?
Is it the Mekong?
No, it's not the Mekong. This is the Mekong here. See that? That massive river flowing down there? That's the Mekong. Now, curious enough, because everyone says the Mekong is the border. If we take an easier example, hang on, Lockie, don't go away. Right there, that's the Mekong River, and that's the border. How do you reckon they work that out?
Halfway.
It sounds like it's halfway, doesn't it? That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay, and if we follow it down any further, is it still halfway?
No. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let's jot this down, folks, because here's a key word you need to know. I'll spell it for you. Thalweg. A thalweg, which means the deepest point of the main channel of a river. The deepest point of the main channel. That's how they've worked it out in that section. So in other words, this part of the river here is actually very, very shallow, therefore they don't count that. They've gone for the deepest point, the navigable part. Does that seem fair?
Sure.
Why don't they just use halfway?
Because you can't get zero ships through them.
Because you can't get ships through. Worse than that, there's another problem.
It'll go in and out.
Yeah, it shifts. Rivers move all of the time. If you build a dam, it shifts the flow of the river, it shifts the shape of the river, you're moving international borders. That'd be a real problem. If you've got sandbars being built, that's going to shift it. If you imagine 10 years of drought in this part of the world, right, and this fills up with a huge sandbar, that no longer is part of the river. It will in fact shift. So they had to arrive at some way of working out what they were going to do. That's what they decided to do. The Thalweg, the international part. Okay, that's fine. The mountain range here clearly is not being used, but if we go back to the unusual line here, what's going on there? Now it's a bit more obvious. It's another river, it's a tributary. And so what they've gone there for is a tributary. Now, what's happened there?
It's changed.
It's a change in the river flow. So why hasn't the border been updated there?
Because the border stays the same.
Because Google Earth hasn't yet updated its resources. So it's not actually 100%. So if you get massive changes, it can shift. Now Google Earth is actually quite conscious of this, and it tells you nowadays when it's updated the images so that it actually doesn't get caught out.